Hey guys, Shadowwada here. Next to all my books. Got the books. The book fortress in my background. Anyhow, today we're gonna be talking about there's my boy Ty Lopez, where I got all the book knowledge from. But anyway, today's book we're gonna be talking about Deep Work. Really good book. He talks about how you can be more productive and the importance of what he calls deep work, as you can see on the cover of the book. And so the big thing for him is that you need to not be so scatterbrained or multitasking and all that, and how you need to like chunk out a couple hours per day, like a lot, and just focus 100% on whatever your task is. And so taking this to video games, the video games, as I jokingly call it, the video games, is that you have to see it as something that requires your full attention. So a lot of people you might be looking at the Facebook, or maybe listening to music, all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with it, but there is something wrong with it if you're doing it while doing your video games. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who do we have him around here? Yeah, we do. Arnold. Right in there. Arnold Schwarzenegger in his book Total Recall. He talks about how people at the gym, he sees them on their phone texting and shit. And he's like, nah, man, this ain't texting time. This is gym time. And the people who are texting in the gym usually are not the ones who are buff. And so it kind of goes back to this idea of deep work, that to really get some badass results, to really start becoming the badass, you have to focus 100% on it. And it kind of gets into the idea of flow and achieving flow, where Mihail Csikszentmihalyi in his book Flow, which actually is not in the little book fortress here, it's over there near my bookshelf. Uh, he talks about how flow and that the whole concept of flow. Well, I'll probably do a book of the day talk on that one. But the idea of flow is that you're engaged in it so much and you're able to block out everything and you're just able to do without thinking. And I myself, I get like that when I play video games too, especially now streaming with like chat and all that. I sometimes forget about the chat, even having like the follow alert flash up and the music playing. It's there's times when like 10 people will follow in a match, and then it's just like, oh, I don't remember hearing it at all, just because I was so engrossed in the moment. And to get to achieve flow, you need to focus on the deep work. And so my major takeaway here, and maybe not as sexy as you may want to hear, that you just have to carve out some time in the day and just focus 100% on the video games, and turn off the music, turn off the Facebook, turn off the phone, turn off all that crap, and focus on the games, man. It ain't about fun, it's about winning and shit. And so he goes into four strategies. I don't know, let me see, can I get the names of the strategies here? But anyway, I can't get the names of them right now, but the four main strategies he says to embrace is: one is you batch it by days. So you might have a day or two um, where you just focus. So like Monday through Wednesday could be your video game days, where those days that's all you do. Or more realistically, like the weekend, like Saturday or Friday, like that's my day. I'm waking up Saturday, I'm just playing video games, going to bed. Or you do like times as well, where you just schedule a time every day, maybe like 4 hours in the morning or 4 hours at night, where you just focus on playing video games and doing it well. That method works well for a lot of people because it develops good habits. You're able to play, or you're able to force yourself to play every day, and so you get in the good habit of doing that. And not just like playing like herpaderp playing, like, oh, I'm gonna look at my phone, listen to music, and check Facebook and play. Nah, man, I'm talking about legit deep work play. And so that's a bit harder, and as such, you have to do it every day if you want to build up those good habits. See, now if you batch it every day, so let's say like for example, I've myself done that before where it's like, okay, these are the days where all I'm doing is playing video games. That takes a bit more willpower. So a little bit more advanced, just a little bit. And then there's also the fourth one, which this might work for you, which is he calls it the journalism method, where journalists they go up into their attic with their typewriter and just start writing whenever they have a moment free. Now with video games that's a little bit harder since depending on what game you're playing, a match could be maybe an hour long or something. But the idea that whenever you have free time, you're doing the video games. And doing the video games, I say that because it's a more broader term. So maybe playing a match would take an hour, but you can watch a YouTube video or you can watch a replay and learn from that. And you could do that in 5-10 minutes. You could go watch a YouTube video for 5 minutes, pause it, come back, watch another 5 minutes, and eventually you'll watch the whole replay or tournament cast or whatever it is, and it will help you. And so that is important too. That's not just about putting in the reps and sets. Quoting my boy Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also putting in the knowledge. Oh boy, Ty Lopez. There we go. Talking about the knowledge and learning and shit. Because here's the thing, by the way, some of you guys know who that is and stuff. It's like I've known him for about a year and a half and been following this stuff, and so some of the vernacular, some of the terms that I use kind of come from him. But I've been practicing the shit for 10 years. I've been a competitive gamer for a decade. My clan Foxhound right above my head right there. I've been doing this shit. See, there's a reason why he's my buddy. There's a reason why he knows of me. There's a reason why he follows me on the Twitters. Is because I'm a bad motherfucker. And we relate on that note. Because he's been doing the shit for a long time. I've been doing the shit for a long time. Now he's on another level since he got his Lamborghinis and shit. But day by day you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. And so one of these days I'll get that Lamborghini. One of these days. And to do that, you need that deep work. So anyway, getting back to the book here. Um, focus on putting in the time and focus on video games as not necessarily a job, but bring more than just like, hey, I'm playing for fun and shit. I don't really like people to say that because it's like, it's fun, but there's also the unfun aspects, such as like, oh, I'm gonna sit down, watch some replays for like an hour. That's not necessarily fun, but it is needed if you wish to win and you wish to be the pro. So, one little minor thing I do want to talk about that I found was interesting in the book is the idea of taking time off. Because one thing, especially with video games, it's like, oh man, I don't need time off from video games. Fuck that, man. I can play every day. It's fun. The body and the mind naturally need some downtime. So, and this is something that I've been bad at a lot, right? Is that you need reward, you need to have a day off. And so the book actually encourages that, like, hey, you don't have to be on 24/7. It's bad if you're going hard every day. You need like one day a week where you're off. And I would even recommend that every day there needs to come a point during your day where even though you can do more work, even though you can play more video games, there just comes a time when it's like, okay, I did 12 hours today or whatever, how many hours it is. For me, it's more like 12 to 8. At minimum, for me, minimum, I like to put in 4. Um, 8's good, 12's pretty good. Uh, I don't always hit these numbers every day. Some days I don't play at all, but I believe having the high standard and the high goal. So even if it's unrealistic, so whatever your goal may be, maybe 4 hours is your goal, and it's very unrealistic at this point in time to be playing video games 4 hours every day. Have that as your goal and work up to it. And because you want the high fucking goal, you don't want shit goals. You want high goals, so, because even if you're not hitting a high goal, you're still doing all right and you work your way up. Like I said earlier, step by step you get ahead, but you need to have those high goals. So, but also remember when you're setting those high goals, you need to be like, okay, I did enough today. I did pretty good today. It's now time to take the night off, or it's now time to relax. The work day is over, and I'll do better tomorrow. So that is a little final note from the book I want to leave with you guys, since I think it's important. Um, because I know when you're on the road to being a bad motherfucker, you might be especially when you have people like Ty Lopez. He's one of the guys I look up to. That's why I have that photo there to kind of remind me of him and remind me of everything I've learned from him. That he man, he has Lamborghinis, Ferraris, lives in a home in Beverly Hills. Like it, I feel like shit compared to him because it's like I play video games really well. That's it. So it's hard to be like, okay, it's time to take some time off. It's time to take a day off, or it's time to relax because it's like, nah, bro, there's a long way to go. And of course you have to remember that, but on the other hand, you need to take the time off because you need it. Not necessarily because you want it, but because you need it. So in closing, know yourself, know what works well for you. There's the four different types. There's the every day you do a little bit. There's the some days or you batch it where all day you're doing this, all day you're doing that. And then there's the journalism approach where whenever you have spare time, you're doing it. There was another approach, but I can't remember for whatever reason. But those are like the main ones from the book. So, and the reward, taking that day off, giving your mind a day of rest. And so those are the big takeaways for me. So, hope you enjoy. I'll see you on the next one.